How what's up, y'all? It's Poppin' It's D about to react to this vid. It's titled Dave Chappelle Causing Outrage After Joke Surfaces from his new comedy special. I did see on Netflix that they said that he has a new special coming out. This man is always upsetting people. People be pressed by the things that this man has to say. Let's see what this joke is that offended people. Let's watch.
And the only thing that got me out of that space was a comedian friend of mine, the late, great Norm Macdonald. That's right. Shout out to Norm. And what Norm did, which I'll never forget, is he knew that I was the biggest Jim Carrey fan in the world. Now, I'm not going to go all into it, but Jim Carrey is talented in a way that you can't practice or rehearse. What a God-given talent. I was fascinated with him. And Norm knew that. And he called me up and he goes, Dave, he says, I'm doing a movie with Jim Carrey. Do you want to meet him? And I said, fuck, yes I do. And it was the first time I could remember since my father died being excited. And the movie was called Man on the Moon. I didn't know any of it.
Wait, it's the first time since your daddy died that you was excited. What the hell? You ain't gonna elaborate on that? The fuck?
And in this movie, Jim Carrey was playing another comedian I admired, the late, great Andy Kaufman. Yes, and Jim Carrey was so immersed in that role that from the moment he woke up to the time he went to bed at night, he would live his life as Andy Kaufman.
Method acting. I just learned this recently on that gay Will Smith video. It's called method acting when you do that. When you completely embody the character and live your life as if you're the character. I heard, though, that that's not it's not the best thing to do psychologically, because didn't Heath Ledger do that for the Joker and it fucked him up? Who else said they did that? Michael B. Jordan said he did that with Wakanda, Black Panther. He said he did that for that role and that fucked him up. So I have always known about it. I just didn't know it was called method acting. But I've always known about that that strategy and doing that so that you can really, be a good actor in the movie. But it's not good to do because your brain starts to really convince you that you're this terrible person.
I didn't know that. When they said cut, this nigga was still Andy Kaufman. So much so that everybody on the crew called him Andy. I didn't know any of that. I just went there to meet him.
Unless you play a good person, then it's fine. If you playing somebody cool, then all right. But if you playing somebody gay, well, I was like playing somebody gay. That sounds terrible. But because that's what Will said he did for his gay role, is that he was using method acting. And it's like, if you don't want to be gay, then I don't think you should be doing that. Personally, I don't think you should be going to bars and fucking niggas that night. I don't know what he was doing exactly, but that's what it was giving. It's like, what you mean you did method acting for this gay role? What the fuck that mean? Anyway, you could think about what it means. But yes, if you do method acting and you're playing fucking Mother Teresa or some shit, then it's like, okay, I'm sure that's fine. But if you're playing a villain or if you're playing a role that is completely different than who you want to be, then I don't think it's the best thing.
And when he walked into the room where we were supposed to meet,
but I know
screamed,
what do I know?
Jim Carrey. And everyone said, no. Call him Andy. And I didn't understand. And then he came over and he was acting weird. I didn't know he was acting like Andy Kaufman. Just like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, hello. Andy?
I don't know who Andy Kaufman is, by the way. I have no idea who this is.
In hindsight, how fucking lucky am I that I got to see one of the greatest artists of my time immersed in one of his most challenging processes ever. Very lucky to have seen that. But as it was happening, I was very disappointed. Because I wanted to meet Jim Carrey, and I had to pretend this nigga was Andy Kaufman all afternoon. He was clearly Jim Carrey. I could look at him and I could see he was Jim Carrey. Anyway, I say all that to say, that's how trans people make me feel.
I was not expecting that. I was not expecting him to go there. This man don't give a fuck, because last time he got canceled, or they tried to attempt to cancel him, but Netflix said, we don't give a fuck what y'all talk about. We fuck with Dave. We still gonna work with him. But that other joke that had people upset was a trans joke as well. So listen, he came back to Netflix like, I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about. I have more to say about the trans community. Listen, I think people are entitled to feel how they want to feel and say what they say. You know, as long as you're not being hateful, then I don't think that people should be demonized for their opinions and them expressing how they feel about certain political conversations and political things that are happening in our society. Like, we all are affected by certain shit. So I don't think that it's anything wrong with expressing how you feel. That's how he fucking feels. And the crazy part is, this is a valid perspective. Like, he's not coming from a place of malice. You can tell that he's just genuinely confused. Like, if he was saying something homophobic or racist or sexist, that would be a completely different conversation, because those are usually rooted in hate, okay? But he just seems lost because it's like, okay, I see you as this way. I know, you know, what you were born as, but you're telling me you're this. Like, what? You want me to play along? I don't get it. And I feel like a lot of people feel that way, and others are quick to, you know, demonize them and call them transphobic, when it's like, that's not helpful at all. That's not helpful in getting everyone to be more accepting of that community, like, whatsoever. You just being like, well, you're just being transphobic and you're writing them off as such. Like, that's not furthering the discussion whatsoever. Because, to be honest, I'm confused by it as well. And I've made videos talking about certain trans topics, and people always call me transphobic whenever I speak about these things. And I'm just like, all right, sure. Even though I'm never hateful, but, you know, I do have my opinions about certain things. And people are allowed to feel how the fuck they want to feel. You want to censor people, and you want them to stay quiet on how they feel about how things are going in our society, and there are other people here that we're sharing the society with. We're going to have our opinions about these people, but you want us to suppress those opinions and suppress those thoughts and suppress our confusion. Like, that's not helpful whatsoever. So I don't understand the whole conversation surrounding this, and the whole accusations of everybody being transphobic just because they don't completely agree with that whole situation. I don't get it either. I'm sorry, I don't understand it. But again, I feel like everybody should be respected 1000%. As long as it's not coming from a place of disrespect and hate, then I think that it's fine. But you can't force me to think like you. You cannot force me to go along with anything. Like, I feel the way that I feel, and there's nothing you can do about that. Like, it is what it is. As long as I'm being respectful, as long as I'm using the pronouns that you are asking me to use. Like, you just can't force people to be in full agreement with, you know, that lifestyle when it doesn't make sense for some people. You feel me? So that's how I feel about it. And yeah, I'm sure he's going to continue to get a lot of backlash about this, but it's like, he didn't say anything hateful or mean-spirited whatsoever. But that's just my opinion. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though. See you on the next one. Bye!